Hello and welcome to the moon, or more specifically, my moon base in Stationeers. I recently got into this game and I've been doing a lot of building, engineering, coding in this game. Full disclaimer, this is my very first game and it's on easy difficulty. I just wanted to have a bit of a less stressful time learning all the things in the game. But I probably could have gotten away with normal difficulty. In any case, I did learn quite a lot, and I've got the base to a point where I'm actually quite happy about it. So I'd like to make a video and show you around and see what you think. So let's get started. Whee! So here is the first thing, my solar array. I wrote the tracking code myself. It's pretty simple, but I also added several displays. This is solar angle, efficiency, and total power. We see the batteries there. Uh, Next to us is the gas slash ore processing facility, if you will. So these are the ice crushers. I only put water ice in this blue one because there's no filtration for the water and I don't want any accidents. But any gas goes into this yellow pipe here. Also, the I can dump my waste bottle here, or any gas from the furnaces will all go into here and go through all the filtration units. I did write a script here myself as well, and by the way, all of the scripts I uploaded onto Steam Workshop, and they all have very detailed instructions in the description. So I will be putting a link in the description if you want to check them out. But this script basically it turns the filtration unit to idle. You can see it's mode idle here if there's no input gas. And it also has a display for the remaining filter value, and there's an alarm if the filters run out. So if, let's say, I pull out these filters here, the alarm goes on or off, and I put it back. So these are the filtration units, one for each gas. All the gases go into those tanks in the back. And there's also the remaining tank. Currently, there's only pollutants in there. I don't actually know if there's any use for the pollutant, but since this is my first game, I just kept all the gases whenever I could. So let me know if there's any use for them, or I should just dump the whole thing into the into space, I guess. There's another script, but I'm not gonna talk about it right now. This is just a partial setup. On this side, we have all the ores and ices in appropriately color-coded bags. There's one shelf on the hanging up there. It's just for if there's any specific ore that's running low, I'm putting it up there. And next time, if I go to a mining trip, I can remember to grab those bags. On this side, this is an arc furnace. It's fully enclosed because I wanted to capture all the gases. So it's not possible to manually operate it because I can't reach the button. So I wrote another script to essentially automate the furnace. And let me just show you if I put a stack of iron in there. see there's the display for the remaining ore amount, and the furnace turns on by itself automatically, and the ingot will be spit out on this side. And the good thing is, because there's a chute, I can actually put a few stacks in there and just leave it running. And that vent sucks the gas out. And as you can see, the um, filtration units are working. Green means it's active, and blue means it's idle. On this side, I got the advanced furnace. It's a the setup is basically there's nitrogen coming down from this side. It's for when I only want to increase the pressure, and this side is the mixed fuel. So volatiles and oxygen 2 to 1. The fuel mixing is controlled by this script. It basically to ensure that the ratio is correct. Let's see here. It's 2 to 1, slightly off, but that's okay. Um, Basically, it makes sure that the mixers is only turned on when the two gases are at the same temperature. So there's a heat exchanger to accelerate their heat exchange. I could have done the math and changed the ratio instead, but I didn't want to do the math. So this is my setup. Um, and this is pretty much everything on this side. On this side, we got the gas tanks, as well as the water tank. And we have water, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen going into the habitat. There is so all of these chips are running the same script, as well as the one we saw earlier in there for the pollutant tank. All of these are using a generic temperature control script that I wrote. They do have slightly different temperature ranges for each kind of gas or liquid or each setting, but I wrote a script so that it pretty much can work with any setup in any situation where you want to control the temperature within a range, including the air conditioning, which we will see in a bit. But basically, it detects, it can take temperature from any input, like a pipe analyzer or a tank or a gas sensor, and then it heats up the if a heater is connected, it heats it up. If necessary, if a cooler is connected, it cools it down when necessary. But here, I just have a passive cooling solution. And it also connects to, it can connect to a temperature and a pressure display. So it's pretty flexible, and also it can control an output as well. So here the output is only turned on when the temperature is acceptable. I should probably also explain what's going on here. So essentially, all the tanks are straight, uh, are containing gases that are straight out of the filtration units. As you can see, the carbon dioxide and nitrogen are pretty hot, but because I want the gases to go into the habitat and I don't want to cook my habitat, so I have these buffers here. There's a inline tank, and the buffer uh, is made sure to have the right temperature range. I set it to 20 to 30 degrees, and basically, oh, we have yeah, I think there's a when all of the heaters turn on, there's a problem. I might need to change the wiring in a bit, but I'm just gonna continue for now. But in any case, yeah, this gets heated if necessary, and it gets cooled down if necessary before it's allowed in. So this is what's going on this side. Sorry about the mess up. And I can fill my oxygen bottle here or dump my waste bottle here. Now, before we go into the habitat, this is just a general manufacturing area. I try to organize everything nicely into these storage lockers. I got all the advanced ingots or alloys. And we have all the colors here. Um, these stackers are for slicing up the ingots when I want. Electronics, the products stored here. This is the auto lathe, also products stored here. The tool manufacturing, the pipe bender with the liquid stuff on this side and gas stuff on this side, and this is the recycler and centrifuge. So this is my manufacturing area, and I have a kind of miscellaneous storage area. I've got some starting food and water here, those mining charges, pretty much all of the starting stuff I didn't get to use. I also printed out some fancy equipment, laser or energy pistol and rifle, but obviously I'm not shooting at anything, just printed out them for fun. And I have my old equipment here, so my old suits, the yeah, just the lower level stuff. So let's go into the habitat. I have all the battery chargers here, so that I always have access to them, and food, water, some CO2 filters, just because I like to refresh everything before I go out of the airlock. And I also have some programming related things here in the airlock as well, so that I always have access to these things. And I do enjoy programming in this game. I've done quite a bit of programming, and I'm quite happy with the scripts I wrote. So be great if you check them out. And this actually is a custom airlock I wrote as well. So I wrote it because the game's built-in simple airlock, if you will, that chip with the that's controlled in a console. I just find that it's just not good. Like there's a repressurization phase that's completely unnecessary. I would rather just open the door on the inside and let the air rush out. And I had to pretty much cancel the repressurization every time. So I just wrote this custom airlock. If I click on this side, it's gonna close that door, wait a bit, and let the air rush in. And this is a display for basically the pressure in the airlock. And if I click on this side, it's gonna close that door, turn on these vents, and once it reaches 0, it opens that door. and this display is also color coded. Um, and if I um, let's see if I can be quick enough, but actually wrote the script so that it allows me to pause the cycle. So if I, sorry, click on this side and then click on this side, it allows me to pause the cycle so I can go back uh, if I, let's say, forgot to bring something. So yeah, this is the airlock. I'm pretty happy with it. Um, and let me just turn off or take off the suit. Inside here, we got all of these portable tanks that are supplied by the setting we just saw outside. Um, and I can again replace my oxygen here and dump my waste tank here. And these vents you see here, they're actually controlled by a script. I currently don't have any plants running or growing because this is easy difficulty. I made too much food. Um, but there's a script to actually automatically balance the atmosphere. So we see atmosphere, roughly 1/3 of each gas. So that's what the script does. It pumps carbon dioxide or nitrogen in and uses this filtration unit to suck oxygen out whenever necessary. And basically, the oxygen goes back into this tank, and there is another back pressure regulator on the outside. So if this tank gets too high pressure, it goes to the goes back to the general oxygen tank. So this is the setting on this side. Here we have some general kitchen slash indoor crafting area. And storage, this stacker is for processing the flour and soy. Sometimes I just need 1 mil or 1 gram. And here in this fridge, we have all the chips, so this will keep me going for a while. And just some general storage. The lights here are automatically controlled, so if I go out of the habitat, they will be turned off, and there is also a script for this. Here we have the air conditioning, so this is also using the generic temperature control script I showed you outside earlier. This one is for temperature inside the room, and the other is for, yeah, you can see a little bit of that. That's the coolant on the outside. So this one is basically to make sure that the coolant doesn't become a liquid and burst the pipe. So there's a heater there. And going back here, the lights, there's also a light switch. If I just want to turn off the lights, I can. So I can like sleep in darkness if I want to. So this is pretty much it. I'm, yeah, again, quite happy with what I've built so far, and I would like to know if there's anything if there's any thoughts you have or anything you would suggest me doing, you would like to see me attempt next. I'm not sure if I should continue playing on this easy game or if I should start another game potentially on another planet. So if you have any thoughts, let me know. And well, the sun's rising, but I was about to go to sleep. So have a good night.